Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. Have you ever given your heart to a guy only to realize weeks, months, or even years later that he wasn't the man that you thought he was and that you couldn't have the relationship that you were really hoping for? Well, if so, I want you to pay close attention because today we're going to talk about the number one thing that a man must give you, the number one thing that a man must do before you give him your heart and some other body parts. Now, I know you're thinking that, it's probably, chemistry. You've got to have that great chemistry, or he's got to be financially secure. And you know what, maybe it's something else. But those things are important, but it's not the number one thing that you must be looking for. According to a recent survey, the number one thing that a woman must have in order for her to have the happy and fulfilling relationship that she's really looking for is that she must feel safe in the arms of her man. Now, I'm not talking just the physical arms, but the emotional arms. See, if you're a woman and you're going to commit the rest of your life to a guy, you've got to know that he's going to be there for you. He's going to protect you. He's always going to be by your side, and he's going to be the loving and supporting and nurturing partner, the man, i.e., that you need. And if you can get that from a man, you've got a huge head start. Now, the key in looking for that is it's not just in the beginning. It's that he consistently shows you over time that he's the man that's going to make you feel safe, that he's going to protect you. There's this thing for us guys, it's what I call the knight in shining armor. It's not that we ride in on a horse and you're the damsel in distress and we save you. It's that one of the things that makes us feel good as a man is knowing that we're protecting and taking care of our woman. And that's really important, is that you find a guy who believes that way, who feels that way, and most importantly, who acts that way. So today I'm going to talk about the 3 signs which will let you know that you're with a man who will make you feel safe. The number one thing is that he shows up consistently. One of the things I see all the time that you're making a mistake that you're making in your love life is that, guy comes along in the beginning and he shows up inconsistently. He's not there all the time the way you need him when you need him. Now, I don't mean that he's at your beck and call 24/7, 365. I mean that he's got a life, but emotionally he shows up. He's always, always, always there for you, and he's in your life on a consistent basis. The number 2 thing is that he treats you like a priority, not a convenience. I see this all the time. There's these guys out there, and these are the boys. And they show you that you're not a priority. They treat you like a convenience. They show up when it's convenient for them, when they have the time. They don't go out of their way. They're always making excuses, or they disappear and then come back 3 days, 3 weeks later, or maybe even 3 months later. Well, you know what? If a guy's doing that and he's not showing you that you're a priority, then believe it or not, you're not, and you can never feel safe. That guy will never have your back. And the third thing that will help you to feel safe is that you know that he protects you physically, emotionally, and even spiritually. This is what I talked about, that knight in shining armor, is knowing the man is going to be there to protect you. He's going to have your back, and he's going to make you feel safe. Now, the key with these things, again, is making sure a guy does this consistently over a period of time. So as you first start to date someone and you're first beginning to get to know them, these are the signs that you look for. And if you see these 3 signs, it's a really good sign that you're headed in the right direction. However, if you don't, if you see that he's not showing up consistently, he's not there for you emotionally, and he's not treating you like a priority, and he's treating you like a convenience, then you need to be like the Roadrunner. Remember that cartoon, The Roadrunner? You want to be beep, beep, shh, cloud of dust, and get out of there. Because the longer you stick around, the longer your emotions are going to get tied to him, the more your hormones are going to kick in, the more your fears are going to kick in, and the more afraid you're going to be to leave and start over again. So it's really important that you see these red flags and you run and you get out of there right away. So I want to hear from you today. Have you ever been in a relationship with a guy where these 3 signs weren't present, but you stayed anyway? You tried to make it work. Or were you in a relationship where these signs were there, but for some reason you fled? Again, there's no right or wrong. Take some mirror time, get real, get honest, and put your questions, comments, and feedback in the box below. As always, an honor, privilege to be with you. I'll see you next time. Much love.